Hello guys, welcome back for another video. And today I'll be pitching an idea of an Injustice 2, Injustice 3 fighting game roster. Now, if you don't know, Injustice 3 has been confirmed, and I'm actually really excited for this game. And although a lot of people are excited, but then again, do we want to have another, evil Superman trope? The reasons why that people are mixed with this is because, well, since we already got the recent Superman film, and rather not continue the evil Superman trope, would not be a perfect time. But to me, I think that probably Injustice, and probably I think it might be a good idea because, we were close to ending the Superman evil trope with Homelander for season 5 that hasn't come out yet. But I think that probably if Injustice 3 comes out, it might be the last time we have an evil Superman. And then we'll continue with the good Superman. The light-hearted and truly wisdom Superman. And yeah. So a lot of people are mixed with this, but I think it would be a good thing to probably end the evil Superman trope. But anyways, here is my fighting game idea. So, well, not really entirely the fighting game idea, but the roster itself. So let's go with the top 10 returning characters. Now, before I basically start the roster, so here is how the story mode would work. And another reason why that a lot of people are mixed with this because, well, of the ending in Injustice 2. Because there are basically two alternate endings. One being the Batman ending where Batman beats Superman and takes him to the Phantom Zone. While the Superman ending have Superman beating Batman and then turn almost everyone into a Brainiac version, and you can see the Brainiac Batman somehow. And I gotta say, that one was really dark. But not as dark as Morlun killing Peter. But anyways, here's how I think that Injustice 3 would work. So remember how the MK11, the MK11 Aftermath endings were both the Fire God Liu Kang ending and the Titan Shang Tsung ending were actually canon to MK1? Well, what if there are two endings from Injustice 2 that are canon to Injustice 3? So we can have evil Superman here, but also probably a redeemed Superman from Batman's ending. Maybe he might become a good guy somehow. But out of the way, here is the top 10 returning characters. And of course we gotta have Batman and Superman. And you can see that's the Brainiac Superman I'm gonna have as the main villain of Injustice 3. Because they of course are the core part of the Injustice storyline. Then we'll have Wonder Woman, the reason why Superman became evil in the first place. And if you want to know what I mean by that, Superman didn't just become evil because of what Joker did to Lois. Basically, Wonder Woman had a nerve to basically brainwash him. And that's how the Joker died. Now, she is the Quan Chi of the Injustice universe. And I say this because they both manipulated the villains of two respective universes and turned against the two main heroes. And, well, except Scorpion killed Bi-Han, and Bi-Han became Noob Saibot after he died. But still, she's basically the Quan Chi of the Injustice universe, and you cannot change that fact. So yeah, if you want to know why it's making that noise, well, it's because of the of what I'm doing with my web slinging in the Roblox game. But anyways, let's just continue on the top 10 recurring roster. The fourth character returning is my favorite, The Flash, of course. And I think that The Flash should be the one that beats Brainiac Superman, because we all know for a fact that Flash is way more faster than Superman. He can basically run into the Speed Force, as a matter of fact. And we already had Superman, like the good Superman, beating the Injustice Superman in Injustice Gods Among Us, and we had Batman beating Superman in one of the endings of Injustice 2. So therefore, Barry Allen should definitely beat Brainiac Superman. And number 5, I think, is Supergirl. With Supergirl, I think should be the new generation of Superman, basically, because because unlike her cousin in the Injustice universe, she's actually a good person. And number 6, I would have for Injustice is Damian Wayne. Now, I know a lot of people will get mad at me for having Damian Wayne because, well, we all know that he is very annoying in the Injustice universe. But hear me out. If we leave out Damian, then there will be no Robin in the roster. Like, I mean, there was a DC fighting game where they left out Robin, and that was Mortal Kombat versus the DC universe. But if you leave out Damian, the last Robin of the Injustice universe, then that would be a whole problem. Like, I mean, I have another Robin joining the roster that we'll talk about later, but I think Damian should be the only Robin that is a good Robin. And what I mean by that is that he could definitely redeem himself, because it worked with the Injustice animated movie, so why not in the Injustice games? So, and number 7, we have Blue Beetle, and number 8 being Firestorm. I really like their character introduction in Injustice 2, and they're really the funny and sorry guys, hold on a second. I'll record back whenever they stop. Okay, so it looks like it's the noise stopped, so let me so they are the new generation of heroes, and I would definitely want them to return. And they can probably like join the Justice League like at the end of the Injustice 3. But I'm pretty sure they already have. But still, I think it would be really good to have them return, because we need more like new generation of heroes. And number 9, number 9 should be Green Lantern, because the fact that he redeemed himself in Injustice 2 is actually really awesome, because he's probably the only Green Lantern that is alive. And what I mean by that is, well, there are probably other lanterns that have died. But I think he should definitely be in the return to in the game. And number 10, we have Harley Quinn. And before you guys get mad at me for not including Green Arrow or Black Canary, this is my idea, so leave me be. But I think Harley Quinn should return, because her character was perfect in the Injustice game, so I get to say that she should return. And also, I do not want Joker in the Injustice 3 roster. And I just feel like that Joker has just... I don't even know why Joker should be in Injustice 3. Like, he's dead. And they just decided to put him in Injustice 2? Like, what are we doing, NetherRealm? But anyways, those are my top 10 returning characters. So now I'll be going on the list of new characters that will be in Injustice 3. Oh yeah, and by the way, I forgot to explain my roster size. So my roster size will be 40 characters. And there will be 30 base characters and 10 DLC/guest characters. But anyways, here's the new characters that will join the Injustice game. So the first new character I will have in Injustice 3 will be Static Shock. And this is probably the most requested character in Injustice. And I gotta say, yeah, I think he should be in Injustice 3. And the reason why I say this is because even though that I haven't really seen a lot of Static Shock, especially the anime series, please don't roast me. I but I think Static Shock is a cool character, and it'll be nice to have him in Injustice 3. And I think I heard that originally he was supposed to be in Injustice 2, got replaced by Raiden. So I think he should definitely be included in the he should be included in Injustice 3. Okay, so it is true that Static Shock was originally going to be in Injustice 2, but it turns out it didn't have something to do with Raiden, but it had something to do with him being owned by a company called Milestone Media. I'm sorry, you left out Static Shock in Injustice 2 because you owned him. First of all, you have done nothing up to this character in at all. All you did was bought him and didn't do anything with the character. It's basically like the equivalent of Hulk being owned by Universal, but not have gotten a lot of Hulk content other than the comics. That's just honestly stupid. I think DC should just get the rights back to Static Shock if they can agree to. Or matter of fact, Warner Bros. Just buy Milestone Media. But I don't think it would be possible because Warner Bros. Is getting owned by Netflix. But I hope that he basically gets owned by Warner Bros. Soon. But anyways, number 2 is Jason Todd, Red Hood. I like how they added him in Injustice 2, but I wish he was in the story mode. It would have definitely been cool, which is why I decided to have him in the Injustice 3 storyline. It would actually be cool to have him there. And I could imagine like a fight between Damian Wayne and Jason Todd in the game. That would be sick. Number 3 is Stargirl. I think she definitely deserves to have new uh content in the DC universe. Because, well, she had a show, but I don't know if a lot of people like it. But I think I think she should be in Injustice 3. It would be fun to have her in here. And this will be a way of adding more new generation of heroes, that I would say. But number 4, we got Booster Gold. And yes, he is the most requested character to be in Injustice game. And I think it would be fun. Plus, he's basically the comedic relief in the DC universe. And I don't think Booster Gold is getting a lot of new content other than an announcement of a TV show. So I think he should have more new contents, to say at least. Number 5, we got Plastic Man. Dude, where was Plastic Man? Why has he not appeared in the Injustice games at all? Last time I checked, he didn't even die in the Injustice series. So, yeah, NetherRealm Studios, why? Why did you leave out Plastic Man? He should definitely be in Injustice. And like I said before, with the other characters, he is the most requested to be in Injustice 3. So, number 6, we got Superboy. Like I said with Plastic Man, why was he not in the Injustice games? He is still alive, so he should be around in the Injustice universe. So why just leave him out? That really doesn't make any sense when you think about it. Because if Superboy's alive, then he should definitely be in Injustice 3. But I think probably because he has the same move and probably would rather work as a Premier skin. Even though I haven't done that with my my first fighting game idea. But I think he should but I think you can just alter his powers a little bit to have him as his own character in the game, to say at least. Number 7, Batman Beyond. It is about time. Batman Beyond should definitely be in Injustice, especially that he needs a new content. Like, I mean, there was a fan film of him. Even though I haven't fully watched the Batman Beyond animated series, I gotta say he's kind of a cool character. He's basically the Spider-Man 2099 of the DC universe. Basically a future version of Batman. So, yeah, I think he should definitely be in Injustice. It'll be about time. Plus, there was originally going to be an animated movie, but Warner Bros. Decided to strike and cancel the game. No, the animated show. But speaking of the game, there was a Batman Beyond animated show. No, not. What am I saying? I need to think. Originally there was gonna be a video game with Damian Wayne as the new Batman, but outright the same thing. The same reason why. Why do you do this, Warner Bros? I get that. I don't know, like a whole lot of the character, but really, what is wrong with you, Warner Bros? Like, really? Number 8, Darkseid. And like Jason Todd, or you can call him Red Hood, he was in Injustice 2 as a DLC character. So I think it would be cool to have him in the Injustice 3, but this time as an actual base character. And plus, he could be like the secondary main villain of Injustice, or the main villain, kind of like Brainiac in Injustice 2. Now that would be cinema. Number 9, John Constantine. I think John Constantine should definitely be an Injustice. And like I said before, he is the requested character to be an Injustice. Plus, I don't think he has ever died nor existed in the Injustice story. And I think they can change that up by adding him in Injustice 3. I think he should definitely be useful in this situation in the game. So Warner Bros., get your butts to work so you can put him in Injustice.
What?
Along with Zatanna would be... no. Along with John Constantine would be Zatanna. And I kind of accidentally spoiled her being in my roster, so I'm sorry, guys. I kind of got... I should definitely think before I say anything. But, yeah, I think that we need, like, Justice League Dark characters in the game. Number 11, Mr. Terrific. I really like his character in Superman. And yeah, he's the most requested characters in Injustice, like I said. And he's actually a really cool character, especially with those with his tech and stuff. He's basically the Mr. Fantastic of the DC universe, even though we have Plastic Man. But he is, because he has his own team called the Terrifics, the closest equivalent to the Fantastic Four. So, please put Mr. Terrific in Injustice. I'm begging you, WB. If you don't,
I will crack your cabasa with my butt cheeks like a walnut.
What?
Number 12 is Steppenwolf. Since Thanos is gonna be in the game, I'm gonna have to have since Darkseid is in the game, he should, then Steppenwolf should definitely be in here. I know that a lot of people didn't like his role in the the DCEU Justice League movie, but they liked him in the Zack Snyder. But still, that the 2017 movie flopped. So, but I think Steppenwolf deserves a lot more, like, character improvement. And you know what's funny is that, like, Steppenwolf was neither mentioned or appeared in the DC animated movie universe. Because what I'm saying is that, like, Darkseid was the only like character that is a part of the Apocalypse and the DC animated movie universe. So I don't know what really happened to him. Number 13, Calabac. Now, we have Darkseid, we have Steppenwolf, so I think it would be fair to also have Calabac in Injustice. I don't think he was either mentioned or appeared along with Steppenwolf in the Injustice series. Yeah, it's just basically kind of confusing when you think about that. You know. Number 14, Killer Croc. What the heck? Why was he not a playable character in Injustice? He only appeared in that in the stage in one of the locations of the game. Like, really? Really, why would you just exclude him and not have him as a guest? No, I meant a playable character in Injustice. Like, really, NetherRealm? You just basically think it would be fair to have Joker, even though he died, and rather put him instead of Killer Croc. Are you kidding me? Like, are you really that serious, NetherRealm? Not that I'm, like, criticizing you or anything, but you gotta do better. Number 15, Livewire. Now, who I may ask? Well, she's Superman's electric-based character, and she was also in Superman the Animated Series, in Lego DC Supervillains, the game that I like. But I don't think she ever appears in Injustice. So I think it would be fair to just have her in the game. Number 16, we got Star Sapphire. We had Sinestro in Injustice Gods Among Us. We had Atrocitus in Injustice 2. I think Star Sapphire should be in Injustice 3. Especially that's Green Lantern's formerly love interest. But I don't know if she's basically alive, because I think I heard like Hal mentioning about her, if she was stuck, like if all the cities were lost along with Coast City. So, but I think she probably left that city and probably got the Lantern Ring, I say. So, yeah. Number 17, we have Killer Frost. I'm trying to see if, like, a lot of Flash villains are alive. Most of them are dead at this point. So I tried looking, and then I found Killer Frost. And yeah, that's all I had to say about her. But I think she can work like the similar way as Sub-Zero was in Injustice 2. So go crazy with that. Number 18, we got Etrigan. Yep, I'm and like I said, I'm adding more Justice League Dark characters. I think he's the third and last character on that list. So, I think it would be fun to have a character who rhymes a lot in the game. And I honestly think that he should be in there. Number 19, we have Trigon. What? Like, why would you not include him? He's a Teen Titans villain. So, I think it would be fair. But I get why, because, well, there aren't a lot of, like, Teen Titans characters around, especially Raven, which I have no idea why she's not in Injustice 2 or other games. So, but I think that he fits more than just a Teen Titans villain. Like, we all see what he can do in, of course, the Teen Titans cartoon in the DC animated movie universe. And yeah, so I think he should be a playable character. And you might be wondering, well, how would he basically work as a playable character in Injustice if he's a big character? Now, I kind of agree with you on that. But I think they can just like adjust his size, like have him change sizes. Like he did the same thing in Teen Titans Go, so if he can do that in that cartoon, then he can probably do that in Injustice. In the 20 and final new Injustice 3 character, we have Ares. I don't think he has ever died in the Injustice series. And I'm just only adding him because I don't think there's a lot of Wonder Woman villains that are alive, so. But that is all it for the new characters. So now we're gonna fully complete the roster with the DLC/guest characters. So on to that we go. Here are my 10 DLC/guest characters. And I don't know if I've mentioned this in the in my crossover fighting game idea, but these DLC and guest characters will be for free since, well, Marvel Rivals is also doing it. And I think it would also be fair because there might be like others that that a lot of people want to play but somehow can't afford. But anyways, sorry guys, I had to do something. But here is my list for the DLC/guest characters. And number 1 will be a bit controversial, but hear me out. Number 1 would be Spider-Man. Now, I know what you guys are gonna say, that the Injustice is a DC game. I know that. But here's the thing. Marvel used to cross over with DC in the comics. And now they're back doing it with, well, Batman and Deadpool and other crossovers that have, like other one-shot crossovers they've done recently. So I think it would be fair to have Spider-Man and Injustice. And I think he can work the same way as Injustice No, I meant as in Marvel vs. Capcom. And if he can't work in Mortal Kombat, then why not have him in Injustice? Plus, he could have like unique intro dialogues between Batman and Superman, referencing their crossovers back in the old days. So I think that would be fun. Number 2. I meant, well, really, before I say who will be the guest character for number 2, so in every Injustice game, there's gonna be a Mortal Kombat guest character because, well, this made by the same video game company as Mortal Kombat. So Injustice Gods Among Us had Scorpion, and Injustice 2 had Raiden and Sub-Zero. So I would like to add 3 guest characters in Injustice. So number 2 on the list is Kung Lao. And of course I'm gonna have to put him in here. I know I glaze a little bit of Kung Lao because, well, he's my favorite character. But I would like to have him like in Injustice. And he could imagine a funny intro dialogue where Spider-Man like mentions about him throwing his hat the similar way as Captain America with his shield. That would be funny. And number 3, our first DLC character is Deadman. Now, as you guys remember in the Injustice comics, after Nightwing died, he became the new Deadman. But somehow, even then, he still hasn't appeared in a lot of Injustice. So, I think he should be a DLC character for Injustice. So, yeah. Number 4 is going to be, yep, Invincible. And honestly, at first, I wanted him as a guest character in Mortal Kombat, especially how his father is in the game. Because, well, Invincible is kind of a little bit of an anti-hero because he kills people, but then again, some people that he kills, like, comes back to life somehow. Like, Conquest and Angstrom Levy. But I don't think he generally wants to kill. But I don't know. He could probably work in both. But I think he fits more of Injustice rather than Mortal Kombat. And since since Invincible might be also a guest character, it would be fun to have Spider-Man and Invincible like having their intro dialogues where they actually met before in a crossover comic. And he could also reference Spider-Man reminding him of Agent Spider. That would be cool. Number 2, not number 2. Number 5, I have Liu Kang. Yes, I'm adding another Mortal Kombat guest character. Plus, you can't have Kung Lao without his best friend and rival, Liu Kang. Now, honestly, Liu Kang is the main hero of Injustice. So, it makes sense to have him in... no, not Injustice, but Mortal Kombat. So, it makes sense to have him as a Mortal Kombat guest character in Injustice. So, yeah, number 6, I have Green Arrow as our last DLC character, because I decided to add more guest characters. So, I'm sorry, guys. But, I think Green Arrow should return, especially how, he will be left out in the story mode. But it is what it is. Number 7, I have Power Rangers. This has to be the most requested guest characters for Injustice. And I kind of agree with that. Even though I haven't watched a lot of Power Rangers, well, especially that I grew up with the modern, but I think that the Power Ranger is kind of an awesome and unique team. And they can work the same way as TMNT in Injustice 2. Where you get to, choose, each Power Rangers in one character slot. Kind of with the TMNT in Injustice 2. So, I think they should definitely be added in the game. Number 8, I have my final Mortal Kombat guest character, and that is Kitana. I think there should be more of a female representation. I'm sorry, representation for Kitana. Well, I meant female representation for guest characters. So I think should be the first ever female guest character. No. Number 9, I have my Ben 10, my favorite cartoon character. And he's definitely the most requested Injustice 2 character. I also want him in here. And plus, imagine having a super move where he basically transforms into every alien at once, beating the opponent. Now that would be wild there. And there can be mechanics where you can transform to each alien for like 3 minutes. So yeah. And my final guest character, number 10, is Goku. Even though I'm not a huge anime fan, Goku is really cool. Imagine Superman, Ben 10, and Goku in the same game at once. Now that would be crazy. Especially how they're known for having, like, for people having their classic debates on who would win, like, Superman, Ben 10, or Goku. But the real answer, it has to be Ben 10. Like, that would be cool. Like I said, imagine Superman, Ben 10, and Goku in the same game together. That would be awesome. That'll be it for my Injustice 3 roster and fighting game idea. I'll be planning on more like fighting game ideas because I think this is a really awesome, fun topic. But but I'll do more of that after like I'm done with because well after I'm done editing this video, I'll be basically making a skit. So be prepared for my upcoming skit. So yeah, and then after I'm done with my skit, I'll be waiting until I start filming the Roblox Spider-Man movie and other ideas before more of my fighting game ideas. So anyways, peace out.